In the vast, sun-scorched heart of Australia, beneath the shadow of the ancient monolith known as Uluru, a woman vanished without a trace. Her name was Robyn Gardiner, a respected film agent whose disappearance would ignite a mystery as haunting and enduring as the sacred desert itself. What happened to her on that winter morning in 1999? And why, after more than 2 decades, does it feel like the desert simply swallowed her whole? In the winter of 1999, the Australian desert stretched endlessly beneath a sky of white fire. The red earth surrounding Uluru, known also as Ayers Rock, had long been a place of both reverence and mystery. It was here, on August the 2nd, that 40-year-old Robyn Gardiner was last seen alive. Robyn Gardiner was no ordinary traveler. As a well-known film agent from Sydney, she was deeply connected to the world of cinema. Her clients included prominent actors and filmmakers, and she had worked on international productions that brought global attention to the Australian film industry. Friends described her as professional, elegant, and precise, but she was also an adventurous soul, known for her love of travel and the raw beauty of nature. That August, she embarked on a trip to the Northern Territory with her close friend and business associate, Carolyn Keynes. The two women planned to tour the Red Centre, exploring Alice Springs, Kings Canyon, and of course the area around the majestic Uluru. Their journey began smoothly. They rented a white Nissan Patrol 4-wheel drive and checked into the luxurious Sails in the Desert Resort, one of the few hotels near the sacred monolith. For them, the trip was a blend of business and leisure. Robyn and Carolyn often discussed future projects and potential clients while on the road. To anyone watching, it seemed like a typical work trip. 2 successful friends exploring the rugged beauty of the Australian outback. On the evening of August 1st, the 2 women were seen having dinner at the resort's restaurant. Witnesses recalled that nothing appeared out of the ordinary. They were relaxed, chatting, enjoying their meal. But the next morning, everything would change. Carolyn Keynes later told police that Robyn decided to go for a walk near Uluru. It was a vast, open area, marked by winding desert paths and sparse vegetation. The temperatures, even in winter, could be extreme, swinging from scorching afternoons to freezing nights. According to Carolyn, Robyn left their room around 11 a.m., planning to be back within an hour. She never returned. When several hours passed with no sign of her, Carolyn grew concerned. By evening, she reported Robyn missing to the resort staff, and by nightfall, local authorities had been notified. A massive search began at dawn the next day. Police, park rangers, and dedicated volunteers combed the desert on foot, in vehicles, and by helicopter. They meticulously searched crevices, waterholes, and the many trails snaking around Uluru and the nearby Kata Juta rock formations. Sniffer dogs were brought in to try and trace her scent, but the sheer vastness of the desert made the effort feel nearly impossible. Back in her hotel room, Robyn's belongings were found untouched. Her wallet, passport, credit cards, and luggage remained exactly where she'd left them. Her white sneakers, the pair she was believed to have been wearing, left no trackable prints in the soft red sand. The desert wind, which had blown hard through the night, may have erased any trace of her path. There was no sign of a struggle, no evidence of foul play, and no indication she had wandered far. It was as if she had simply stepped out of her life and into nothingness. Days turned into weeks. The official search continued for more than 2 weeks before operations were scaled down. Helicopters scanned hundreds of square kilometers, and ground teams mapped every known walking trail. But not a single item belonging to Robyn was ever found. Locals and searchers alike described the disappearance as completely baffling. The police investigation then shifted its focus. They began reconstructing Robyn's final days, hoping to find a clue, any clue, that might explain what happened. Interviews with hotel staff confirmed that she appeared calm and composed in the days before she vanished. She made no mention of any distress or any plans to leave unexpectedly. Her bank records showed no suspicious withdrawals. Her family back in Sydney reported that she had been in good spirits, excited about future projects and her life in general. Naturally, attention turned to her travel companion, Carolyn Keynes. As the last known person to see Robyn alive, Carolyn became central to the investigation. Police questioned her repeatedly about the events of that morning. Her story remained consistent. Robyn left the hotel alone, carrying only a small bottle of water and possibly her camera. She did not take her bag, her money, or any form of identification. According to Carolyn, she waited for Robyn to return, and when she didn't, she began searching the nearby area herself before finally alerting authorities. But yes, where the mystery deepens, investigators could not find a single person who saw Robyn after she supposedly left the hotel. There were no sightings on any of the nearby walking tracks. No other tourists or staff members at the busy resort recalled passing her that morning. The case offered absolutely nothing to go on. No note, no sign of a planned departure, and no evidence of violence. As the weeks dragged on, theories began to emerge, each more unsettling than the last. Some speculated that Robyn may have become disoriented in the unfamiliar landscape and succumbed to the harsh desert elements. Others believed she could have deliberately disappeared, staging her own vanishing act. However, police found no evidence to suggest she intended to leave her life behind. She had ongoing business commitments, a family she was incredibly close to, and no known financial or personal difficulties that would explain such a drastic choice. The Northern Territory Police continued to treat the case as a missing person investigation. In later interviews, officers described the terrain as one of the most unforgiving environments in Australia. The desert's shifting sands and sudden temperature changes can destroy evidence within hours, making any search a race against time and nature itself. Search teams even used advanced technology like thermal imaging and aerial photography, but still, nothing was found. Months passed with no new leads. Robyn's family, heartbroken but determined, traveled to the site multiple times. They joined volunteer searches and distributed posters throughout the region, pleading for any information. Her husband, Jim Gardiner, remained hopeful, but grew increasingly frustrated by the agonizing lack of answers. Despite the extensive efforts of so many, there was never any sign of her body or belongings. Years later, the mystery deepened even further when inconsistencies were noted in the accounts of her travel companion, Carolyn Keynes. Though police never officially named Carolyn a suspect, persistent questions lingered about her version of events. She has always maintained her innocence, insisting she told the truth from the very beginning. Without any concrete evidence of a crime, the authorities could go no further. As time passed, the case slowly faded from national headlines, but it was never officially closed. In the decades since 1999, numerous searches have been conducted by private investigators and television programs exploring unsolved disappearances in the outback. Each new effort returned to the same barren expanse beneath Uluru's red cliffs, searching for traces of a woman who seemed to vanish into thin air. The area itself carries a deep spiritual significance for the Anangu people, the traditional custodians of Uluru. To them, the land is sacred, and certain parts are restricted to outsiders. Many locals believe that the desert holds its own mysteries, ones that cannot be easily explained or understood by modern logic. By the 2010s, more than a decade after Robyn's disappearance, no new information had surfaced. Her husband eventually had her declared legally dead, a heartbreaking necessity, though he continued to hope for some form of closure. In interviews, he described the profound pain of not knowing what had happened and the haunting emptiness of years spent without answers. Investigators have occasionally revisited the case, comparing it with other disappearances in remote regions of Australia. Some of those involved travelers who got lost in the harsh outback. Others were eventually connected to criminal activity. Yet none bore the same quiet, inexplicable nature as the disappearance of Robyn Gardiner. To this day, no human remains, no torn clothing, no personal items, and no confirmed sightings have ever been linked to her. Every piece of physical evidence remains contained within the original police files, thin folders that tell a story defined only by absence. The desert remains unchanged. Each year, thousands of visitors walk the same paths Robyn is believed to have taken, tracing the trails that wind around the base of Uluru. The same wind that once swept away her footprints still blows across the sand, whispering through the spinifex and the ancient stone. More than 20 years have passed since that morning in August 1999. For those who knew her, Robyn Gardiner's disappearance is not just an unsolved case but a wound that has never healed. Her name endures among the long list of mysteries that haunt Australia's vast interior, stories of people who entered the desert and were never seen again. Somewhere in the endless red expanse of the Northern Territory, the answer may still lie buried beneath the shifting sands, waiting for the day the desert decides to give up its secret. Thank you for joining us to explore this haunting case. If you have any theories or thoughts, please share them respectfully in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into compelling mysteries. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.